Hey, this is Jason Morris with Real Estate Agents That Really Work, and hey, I got William May on the phone with me. Hey, William, how's it going, man?
What's up, Jason? My
Hey, man,
brother from another mother. You know,
I
my middle
know
name's Jason, but shh, don't tell nobody.
that's funny. Uh, you know,
You Jason May.
I think a lot of people probably listen to this probably kind of know who you are because it seems like we know a lot of the same people. But the thing
Mm.
that a lot of people don't know is, dude, you're like a script master. You've done more
Nah.
role playing and scripts and stuff than, gosh, anybody I know. So, what would and I think that's a problem that a lot of agents have is they, because I have them, they're posting real estate agents at work all the time looking for script partners, and one of the biggest complaints I hear is people having trouble finding script partners or having trouble finding script partners that actually show up when they're supposed to. What should people be doing about script partners and working scripts?
Well, as far as working scripts, I'll get to script partners in a second. There's a million and one scripts, and a lot of people's like, "Oh, I don't like scripts," all this other stuff. But hey, Jason, have you ever been into a movie? Went to a movie?
Yeah. Yes, I
You
have.
know, some of those actors memorize the whole book, and if it's a good enough movie, you're into the plot. You're not thinking about, hey, is this a script? Unless you go to one of those, you know, whack movies. But
Yep.
the script is just a base to let you know what questions to ask, where to get their motivation, and see if you can help them, because we need to be at a level where we're trying to help people.
It's
And yeah,
got.
everybody's different. Everybody has their own personality. So you take a script that's a proven script. It could be, you know, um, Mike Ferry, could be Derek Lipsky, Colton Lindsay. It could be anybody's script. But like a lot of script masters that say it doesn't really matter what you say, is how you say it and how you come off to the potential client. So, far as role playing partners, you need to get with somebody that's, if you're new or not really comfortable with scripts, get with somebody that's comfortable with scripts, and don't be playing stump the chump. Be all difficult, because when I first got into the business, I still get people that's hollering and cussing at me. And I thought that was normal. So when I would role play, I would be all extra hard on them and stuff like that, stump the chump. But you want to work with people that is like you, that wants to get their home sold. They want to move on with their life, so they can, just move on with their life. So you don't
Yeah.
want to play
Most
stump the
people
chump.
aren't mean on the phone. That's what I find. I mean, most people, even the people that don't really want to talk to you, I mean, man, today, right now, I can think of like one time somebody was mean to me on the phone and he called me an asshole. And
Right.
but he didn't know me and I didn't know him. So I mean, maybe I was being an asshole. But
It
but
depends on who you're calling, because,
I mean,
like,
that's one out of hundreds and thousands of calls that I can actually remember a guy being mean to me. You know what I mean?
are you doing expired calls or just cold calls, or
Oh,
you're
expires
the
and for
master
sale
of
by owners.
for sale by owners?
Yeah, it expires and for sale by owners. I mean, I'm not really cold calling, or I don't think I'm cold calling. I feel like I'm warm calling, basically. I'm calling
Right.
people that had their house on the market or they're, putting their house on the market. But,
I probably think that's a area thing, your market, because out here in LA we have a lot of agents calling, and one thing I've learned is you need to call expires as soon as possible, because at 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, they're upset, and after 8:45, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, they're cussing you out. So they cuss me out here. But
you know
but I
what though?
think
I
that's
don't
your
call, I
market.
don't call the new expires. That's probably why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I call the new
honestly, like
expires.
I call like 30-day old expires. Um,
Mm.
yeah, like I let everybody relist that's going to relist, and then I call the ones that are left over like a few weeks later. But so Now, I tell people over and over, the magic in a script, there isn't a magic question, I don't believe. I mean, what do you think about that? I know there's a couple guys out there wanting you to pay for their scripts, and they say there's a magic question. Do you believe in a magic question?
I refuse to answer that question on the grounds it may incriminate me. But I feel it's a magic system. You just need to get on the phones and just make the calls because you need to be comfortable about whatever script you're using. Whatever script you're comfortable with, reword it to where it's comfortable for you, but where it still finds the key information. If they're motivated, how much they owe, or different things that you could be calling for sale by owner, expired, past client. As long as you get the key questions down and you do it comfortably, and you have to do it over and over and over again. So I don't
Repetition.
role play as much as I used to because, like you said, it's hard to get people that's dependable. So what I would do, I would just record my script and listen to it over and over again, listen to it, write it out, and speak it so that way it sinks in. So that way if somebody asks me, well, what's your commission? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the house yet. When's the best time to come over? Today at 5 or would 6:30 be better? Well, you still ain't told me your commission. Well, I understand. In California, commission's negotiable. Are you willing to work with a commission that's fair for you, fair for me, and allows the home to sell, sir? So it'll roll off your tongue if you practice.
You keep practicing. I feel, and this is, and please correct me if you think you're wrong, or if you think I'm wrong, now that you're wrong, if you think I'm wrong, but I feel like the magic in a script is using that same script over and over, asking those same questions over and over so they feel natural, they come across natural, and then after a while, after you've asked that same script and that same question to 100 people or 1,000 people, you know what all the answers are going to be.
Yeah. Also, too, different markets are different. The script for expired, for example, might work in your area, but you might have to tweak it in LA, or you might have to tweak it for your personality type. You might be depending on what disc profile you are, you might have to reword it to match your personality. So, but I do agree with you. You have to have, matter of fact, I had to throw away a lot of scripts because when I would call somebody, I would get flooded with different scripts that hit me, and I'd be like, Now I just have my primary scripts that I say over and over again. So you're right. You have to have one primary script, and as you speak to people, you might tweak it here and there, or you might have a backup script like for old expireds. It's going to be slightly different than when you're talking to a new expired.
That's how I am too. Like a lot of the stuff the script and stuff I'm using on the phone, whether I'm calling for sale by owners or expireds, really it's about the same script, or the most of it's the same script. Even calling Z buyer, I mean, I change a few words here and there, but for the most part, we're having really the same conversation. Hey, do you still want to sell your house? I mean, it's kind of the gist of the whole thing. Or you still want to sell your house? How soon do you want to sell it? What kind of conditions is it in? What would you like to see in your pocket? That sort of stuff. And
Right.
but yeah, I find too that like after you've been doing it a while, you start finding like phrases that work for you well. Like my closing line that works for me like exceptionally well on the phone and in person is, when do you want me to start working for you? Oh,
I started using
and,
that one. That was an excellent close.
yeah, you know what? And I think agents get hung up on like, let me come list your house, to the point that, I mean, list your house is like really industry slang. You know what I mean?
A needy
Yeah, it sounds desperate.
Well, hey, when
Yeah.
would be the best time I could come over and see if I can help you with your plans? Would today at 6 or would 6:30 be better for your schedule? Don't make it always list your house.
Yep.
Just hey, I just want to come over, see if I can help you. If the numbers make sense and you feel you're comfortable and confident that I can sell your house,
Yep.
we can get the ball rolling. How's that sound?
That actually sounds great. I don't like my neighbors. Another agent could possibly list my house today. I ain't gonna lie to you. But man, you can I find that a lot of agents, they keep just switching this script. And, this week they're using one they got from Tom Ferry. This week they're using one they got from Mike Ferry. Next week they're using, something from Keller Williams Bold. And it's like every week they're using a brand new script, and they can never
Hmm.
really learn a script, internalize it, and get comfortable using it. What do you think about that? What do you think about switching scripts like that? I know you said you had to get rid of a lot of yours.
Right. Yeah. Man, I spent like thousands of bucks on training courses and different things, and um, you have to find a script that's going to get the job done and that you're comfortable with. Now, my script personally is probably a mixture of everybody's script, you know, but hey, I internalize it, I have it down, and when I use it, it doesn't come off like my name is William May with Century 21. I was just calling you today to see if you're still interested about selling your house. Like after the third word, you're going to get a click in LA. So
Yes.
you have to be comfortable and confident. You have to memorize the script that you're comfortable with. And then, sometimes you're going to have those days where I don't want to call and you be out of it. But, it's just being consistent and persistent.
Well, an agent that's new, because I know a lot of the people in my group and a lot of the people listening to my recordings and stuff, a lot of them are pretty new age, brand new agent just starting out. What should you do as far as role play? What should you be working on, do you think?
As a new agent, I would
Yes.
get with an agent that is experienced. You probably might have different agents that is experienced in the office and maybe never made a cold call or call that expired in their life. You need to get with somebody that specifically prospects, and then role play with them and
Well,
see what
let me
kind of
ask you. Let's talk about that for just a second. This is something I've noticed. It's from talking to a lot of agents. Is man, a lot of agents, they might be in an office with 20, 30, 40 agents, but nobody calls expireds and for sale by owners.
right. And
And they kind of look at you weird when you mention it. So if they're in an office like that and there's nobody to role play, where do they find one?
well, I would suggest your forum, real estate agents and really work, because you have and congratulations, you're about to break 10,000 members. So
I am, man.
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You have a lot of different people in your group that post regularly. Hey, I'm looking for a role play partner. You know, I wouldn't suggest a new agent role play with another new agent because it's like you're a virgin. You don't know what to do. Role play with an experienced agent, and that way they can feel you out, give you some pointers, because you don't want to play stump the chump. You don't want to be like I used to be and be real negative and stuff like that. You want to go through the script so that way your mental faculties was like, hey, I can actually go through this script and I can actually get an appointment, and
Yeah.
also practice. Another thing people doesn't really do in role playing, I noticed when when the client goes off script, how to get back on script. You have your questions and you roll with it. It's like, well, hey, where were you when my house was on the market? Well, hey, I was busy selling my clients' homes. Are you still interested in selling? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just keep on going down the list.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to shelf the objection and then come back. Now, if they ask you, well, how much you charge in the beginning of the call, you shelf it. Well, I don't know. I hadn't seen your house yet. But if I got you a full price offer in the next 30 days, would you list your house with me? Well, sure. And you keep on going down the list, and then also you pre-qualify them. Also make sure you have a pre-qualification script, because a lot of people will be like, oh, yeah, I'm thinking about selling, go down to the house on the appointment. They think they got an appointment and find out the person's underwater and is not going to get a dime and can't sell. This
Yep.
condition. That's
Yeah,
another thing they need to know. Sorry. They need to know the difference between the objection and a commission.
A condition? Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. I think something that amazes
Sorry, I
me,
talked
and
too much.
no, it's okay. Something that amazes me
I love real estate.
is agents talk about it all the time. The objection, well, how much do you charge for commission? Or I don't want to pay a real estate agent. Yeah, I don't want to
Hmm.
pay a real estate agent, or I don't want to pay a realtor commission. How do you handle that objection?
Well, all right, let's role play. Go ahead.
Well, William, I don't want to pay a realtor commission.
Well, I can understand that, and what I'm guessing is you don't really think that we. Shit, I'm on the spot now. I can understand that. I can see that you really don't um, value our service. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Well, I mean, I just want to sell my house, and realtors charge a
Well,
lot of money.
I can understand that. So, what do you think would be the best fee to sell your home?
You, you know, well, gosh, I don't want to pay anything.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to pay anything, but you want to sell your home. I know you probably have a good reason for that, but why you feel that you don't need a real estate agent and you don't want to pay a fee?
Well, I mean, I just don't want to pay one.
Oh, okay. I can understand that. So if I can come over today and show you how I do business, and I can show you how I could charge 7% and still net you the amount of money that you need to move on, would you want to even hear about it?
Um, oh man, that sounds like a lot. I mean, that's more than what the average is.
Well, do you want to sell your house or you just want
Yeah,
to?
I do want to sell my house.
Oh, okay. Well, when would be a good time for me to come over and show you how I can sell your house for top dollar? Today
How
at
about four
5 or
o'clock?
what? 4
Five
o'clock?
o'clock works.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now, are you the only decision maker or is there anybody else involved with the sale of your home?
Yeah, my wife will be here.
Oh, okay. Well, there's three things we're going to discuss when I come over. First, I'm going to look at your house because I want to see what you have to offer for today's buyers. Second, I'm going to show you a couple of things that will directly relate to selling your home for top dollar. That's pretty important, wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
And the third thing is, I'm going to show you why my homes sell and other agents' homes don't get sold for this in this market. So you said today at 4 would work for you and your wife, correct?
That's right.
See you then.
Okay.
The thing about that role play was, I don't get a lot of those. Well, hey, I don't want to pay anything out here in LA. They know they're going to have to pay something. They know
Yeah.
at least 3% or something like that. But I usually shelf it. I'm like, I just well, hey, all right, well, you're going to have to pay commission, and I just try to move on with the appointment, and then once I confirm the appointment, then I try to pre-qualify them. While I'm speaking to them, I can go online and we have a program to see if they owe, how much they owe. What I've noticed out here for sell by owners, a lot of time is they owe more than what their house is worth, or they have low equity. So if they're looking to get some money out of the house and they don't have any equity, I don't even go to the appointment.
I'm kidding. I tell you what, let's role play it the other way. One way, I want to show you how I'm overcoming that same objection. So,
Yeah, I probably messed up on it, so you're
no,
not
no, it's
laughing at
okay.
me.
I just want to show you like a way that I'm handling it. So,
What kind of difficulty? High or low, medium?
do you how about just do medium? Let's handle commission. You
No
tell me
problem.
you don't want to pay a realtor.
Hey, Jason. Hey, thanks for giving me a call, but hey, bring me a buyer because I'm not paying the commission.
Okay. You know what? That's no problem. Look here, Mr. May. How much do you want for your house? How much do you want to walk away with in your pocket?
Well, I want to walk away with at least 250,000.
250,000 in your pocket. So if I can get
Right.
you 250,000 in your pocket, you'd be happy with that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. Well, I tell you what. How about if, gosh, I'd like to come over and take a look at your house. What about tomorrow at 4 o'clock? Does that work for you?
You going to bring a buyer as well?
No, I don't bring buyers to these appointments. First time I come, it's just me. I'd like to take a look at it, see what kind of features you have in your house, and I'm going to be upfront with you. If I can get you $250,000 in your pocket, I'll let you know. If I can't get you $250,000, I'm not going to waste your time, and I'll just be upfront with you and tell you. Does 4 o'clock sound good with you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks.
And then what I do after that, man, is I
Yeah, I
handle
like
the
that.
commission objection through my net sheet. As soon as I
Hmm.
set the appointment, I always ask, so Mr. May, I'd like to send out some information about me and my team and what we do to sell houses. What's a good email address for you? And you don't have to give your email address.
BlakeBlank@.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds great. Well, I'm gonna send it out here in just a few minutes. That way, you know who's coming to your house, and I'll plan to see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Hey, that's great.
And then, man, I go ahead and send out all the paperwork. I send out the my listing package, and lots of times I'll go ahead and pull some comps real quick and send out my net sheet. And what I do is I have 3 columns in my net sheet, and I build one of those columns around netting them, say $250,000, if that's the number they gave me.
Oh,
So
okay.
if we got to work it backwards and say we got to list it for 269 to get everybody what they need, and I don't know what the number is. I'm just saying off the top of my head. If we got to list it for 269 to get them 250 in their pocket, then I work it backwards so that at least one column is showing them what they want. And then when I get to the door, as soon as I introduce myself, I get in the door, we're talking. I I take and go over everything again. You know, hey, Mr. Mason, you said 250,000 in your pocket, right?
Yes.
No. Okay, well that sounds good. Well, I tell you what, who wants to show me around the house and give me a tour? And
I
then
will.
I go do the tour, man. I try to point out anything I think is going to be an issue. If there's a water stain on the ceiling, I point it out. If there's a window that's cracked, there's, funky paint, carpet that's in real bad shape. And everything we talk about, I say, Mr. May, I'm going to tell you, I feel like when we show your house, this carpet might be a problem. Or Mr. May, you got a water stain on the ceiling. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal. Buyers are going to notice that, and they're going to think there's a problem with the roof. Do you have any problems with the roof?
No, I don't have any problems with the roof.
Okay, well, what we might want to do is, you get your can of sealing paint and touch that up a little bit. Was that an old leak and you've already fixed it?
Um, I'm not sure. It's just probably just a stain from us being here. We've been here for like 30 years. So
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely touch up the ceiling a little bit there so that's not as noticeable because that's going to be a big issue to buyers. And I keep
okay.
walking around the house and everything I talk about as if me and you are already working together. When we do this, when we do that, when we show your house, when we bring a buyer over. And then,
Yeah, that sets up their mind that we're a team now. We're working together.
yeah,
It works.
we're a team. We're
Sounds
working
good.
together to sell your house. And then as soon as we do a little house tour, I go, Mr. Bank, I do a lot of research before I come over here. You guys got my pre-listing package, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. Well, you know that what we do, we market properties 2 different ways. We market to other realtors that might have a buyer, then we market to the general public looking for our own buyer. And I tell you what, can we sit at your kitchen table and I'll show you what I found out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sounds
Right this
great.
way.
I sit at the kitchen table, man. I go down through the comparables. I show them where their house falls amongst active comparable homes in the community. I
Okay.
explain my pricing strategy with them, and then I pull out my net sheet and I say, well, Mr. May,
Okay.
if we put your house on the market for 269.9, you've got attorney fees, you've got this, you've got that, whatever the costs are that are typical in a closing. You got real estate commissions, and that's going to net you $252,000. I know you said you want to put 250 in your pocket. Would 252 be okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well that sounds great. So when do you guys want me to start working for you?
hey, you could start working now.
That's it, man. That's how my whole listing presentation and everything goes.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Um, usually when I do a listing presentation, and my father always told me, always plan for worst case scenario. So when I get set up at the table, I usually give them a expensive pen. I give them my contract. I know your contract, your listing pre-listing packet probably have the contract in there, but I put mine out on the table and I said, if you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home and the numbers make sense, here's the paper we're going to fill out so we can get the ball rolling. And if you have any questions, here's a notepad and a pen for any questions. And that's just
I hold
the way
back.
I do it.
Yeah, I hold back the paperwork until we get through the net sheet. I confirm that, if we net you whatever it is, that's going to be good with you guys. And I ask my closing questions. So when you guys want me to start working with you? And if lots of times they say yes, fortunately, but, if they say no, I go, hey, no problem at all. What do you think? Why don't you guys want to? I'll put them on the spot, look at them right there. Well, why don't you guys want to go ahead and get your home on the market?
Well,
and then I just kind of sit there and wait. Okay, no problem. Is there anything specific questions you have, or anything you're concerned about?
Yeah, we'll probably just want to talk amongst ourselves and give you a call back once we talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I'll tell you what, I brought the paperwork with me here that we need to get started. How about I go down through it with you guys real quick, just so you kind of know the process and know everything. That way you guys can talk about the paperwork and everything.
Hey, that sounds great.
That'd be okay with you guys? And then
sure.
I have my paperwork memorized, man. I can get through the whole thing. It takes me about 5 minutes to go through it. And I've got it memorized so I can go down through it like on a third grade level. That way it's easy to
great.
It's easy to understand because there's a lot of legal words in there and scary sentences and paragraphs, and nobody likes that stuff. So I try to go down through it as quickly as possible.
So everybody out there, you need to know your contract so that way you be sounding professional and they'll be comfortable with you.
The thing that sucks, man, is that a lot of brokers in charge. Well, every big office they have a paperwork class where they teach you about the paperwork, and they sit there in class and they read the paperwork to you word for word. I don't know. My office does.
Right.
A lot of offices, I assume all of them do. But they read the paperwork to you word for word, and they tell you how one time in the history of South Carolina real estate, this horrible story happened. So we have paragraph 4 in here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing is, then these agents, they go out into the world, and that's how they explain it with their clients and go down through it with their clients.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand the paragraphs. They don't understand the sections. They don't understand what they actually mean. And they relay it in the worst possible way for nobody understands. Yeah, you got to keep it simple, and you have to put it on a kid level because we see these things all the time. A lot of us live and breathe real estate. These people, man, this is probably their first or second home they've ever sold.
Right. Well,
and,
that's why I put the contract in front of them. That's just the way I do it. That way, if they have an objection, well, hey, we just want to see how much our home is worth, or we just want to think about it. I have the contract there. I'm like, hey, well, great. If the numbers make sense and you feel comfortable and confident, are you ready to move forward? That draws out any objections instead of waiting to the end. But, you already have a system. I have mine. But somebody needs to have a system and then perfect it so they can get closings.
Yep. Well, here's the thing a lot of agents don't understand. I mean, me and you, we have different systems. Now,
right.
I'm not telling you my system is the only way and I'm right and you're wrong. And you're not telling me that either. But we both have a system that if we go on appointment after appointment and something isn't working, we can go back and change the system. Versus these agents out here.
My system changed a gang of times. And then probably in the future, it'll still probably go through some changes until it's perfected.
Mine's the same way. I keep looking at this thing. If I have something that's a hang up every appointment on, You know,
Hmm.
then I go back and I immediately start thinking, like, how could I do better next time? What could I change? But a lot of these agents that have no system and no rehearsed presentation or no
Hmm.
rehearsed dialogue, they just kind of wander around out there, do whatever they feel like when they get to the seller's house, and they never can figure out what went wrong because they never did the same thing twice.
You know, one thing, I'm not that articulate, but once I memorize my listing presentation, like one year I took 12 listings. I
Yeah,
went to 12 listing appointments and I got all 12 listings because I had a memorized listing presentation. The year
yeah,
before, I went on 7 listing appointments and only took 2 because I was winging it. You have to have a memorized listing presentation, a memorized script, and you have to practice it over and over again so when you talk to a client, you don't sound scripted.
yeah. And I want to put that in perspective for everybody about taking 12 listings, stuff like that. Williams in a market that is extremely, extremely competitive. And
And
there is
like,
literally, there's like half a house on the market this morning. There's no inventory. Like what we talked about earlier, your office was saying that the numbers are down, and it's not because people aren't selling anything; it's because there ain't nothing to sell.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, you're like a grocery store with the shelves are empty, and
Yeah, it was like this 2 bedroom, 2 bath shack in Inglewood that needed to be totally remodeled, 1,300 square feet, sold in, it was only on the market, like a day and a half, had multiple offers, sold in, like 13 days for 465,000. I have another
yeah,
agent, she just listed a property in my market and she was like, well, I think it's priced a little bit high. I'm like, oh, you'll sell it and you sell it quick because she was like, oh, I think I'm $75,000 over value. I'm like, no, you right on the money with the trend of the market. It's just
yeah,
crazy out here.
yeah. See, that's amazing. See, my market's so different. Like if we took the purchase price of a house and added
Mhm.
75,000 to it in some areas of my market, then there better be another house that's going to come along with it. You know,
Right.
I mean, it's just unbelievable prices. I'm selling houses that aren't $75,000 that are nice. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just
Hmm.
the difference in markets and stuff, man. You need to move. You need to move. We can get you something. We can get you something very reasonable here in Myrtle Beach. But
Right.
so man, what advice would you have for these agents going out there looking for role play partners right now and just getting started? Should they
Well,
have multiple partners?
well, yeah, like, I know some top, um, agents out there online. Uh, you know, I don't know if you want me to mention any names, but if you go on YouTube, you see some agents is killing it with expires for sale by owners. They're they have maybe like 8 or 10 role play partners, and they're practicing different role play parts across the country so they can get a feel, so they can roll with the punches because, you know, Chicago might be different than LA. LA might be different than Texas or Myrtle Beach. That way you get a feel of the personality of this person. So I would suggest you post in real estate agents that really work. If you're not in that group, uh, ask to join either Jason or myself. One of the two Jasons will approve you. Jason Morris or William Jason May will approve you, and just ask for, hey, I'm new in the business. I would like a role play partner, and role play.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
right.
way, don't be discouraged if you're new. You're gonna have trial and error. You're gonna have to practice, and just eventually understand that you have to just keep on consistently practicing. Like every morning, I have a folder that has all my scripts in it. I read my scripts and I have it playing in my ear. So I'm reading my scripts. As I'm reading my scripts, I'm saying them verbally and I'm listening to them at the same time so they can sink in. Um, So that's what I would suggest. Go on Real Estate Agents That Really Work and ask other agents help me role play so all y'all can be better role play partners and
Oh, that's
satisfy your
right.
clients, overcoming objections and conditions.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, I want to wrap things up here because I think we've been about 45 minutes, but real quick, man, you got to
Wow, that was quick.
I want people. Yeah, dude, that time flies, man. But hey, I want to. You're writing a new book, aren't you?
Uh, yeah, it'd be the first for me. I took note from you. I loved your book. What was that?
53
51
strategies.
ways.
53 strategies to get more listings.
Yeah, I love that book, that ebook. And I only been in the business 6 years, so I'm coming out with an ebook, Top 10 Expired Objections. There's not a lot of objections out there, but if you know these objections, it will get you closer to home to to getting the listing, taking the listing, and making some money for you and your family. So it should be out in the next 2-3 weeks. I'm finishing it up, and then since out here in LA and California, since daylight savings time is going to be taking effect in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll have another book after that, like a crash course on door knocking. It's not something extra thick. It's just what you need to know: the basic script, the basic apparel, the times the door knock, the mental mindset, different things. And then also too in the top 10 expired objections, it got a little information in there. It just doesn't have the handlers. It also has some good information in there.
Cool, man. Well, I'm excited about it, dude. And I appreciate you doing this call with me today. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Hey, I appreciate you calling me up. Now I can go back on, my dialer and make some more calls.
Cool, man. Hey, we'll get back to work, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks.
No problem. Take